Well, we talked about this before, right? And he agreed to it, and he knew that it's going to be like that. So, and you know, I think that's a very brave, courageous thing. But I think he trusted me as a filmmaker and thought, you know, it might lead to something.
You know, honestly, I didn't trust Thom as a filmmaker. I trusted him as a friend because I didn't know what would come from this, and we both didn't know what would come from it. And I am just so touched by the beauty of what Thom made, and I can only hope that if anyone else kind of reveals their, you know, their internal thinking and organs, you know, they've got someone that's as respectful and as talented as Thom to do it, to reveal it. And so, you know, about sleeping on the roof, you know, wasn't a lifetime goal of mine to stay up there. Although I wish I still had that opportunity. And also, I was very aware while I was there, because I've been an actor and I like to read, that the story, that the situation I was living would be a very appealing story. And so that also kind of gave me comfort. I realized that, you know, what I'm doing right now is going to be very good. So anyway, it was just a free-spirited way of living, and I actually did enjoy it, and I felt like a survivor every day I woke up. But I didn't really consider myself homeless. You know, I don't have an addiction. I'm not mentally ill. I have a graduate. I'm not a criminal. I'm a graduate of a university. You know, it's just like things kind of went a little haywire, and I said I'm giving up on it all.
Yeah, we've known each other for quite a while, and we kept in touch over the years. And when I moved to New York, I called him up and let's catch up and go for a few drinks. And then I got him really drunk, and then no, I just asked a normal question: where do you live in the city? And for some reason, he told me this story, and you know, my jaw dropped, and I'm like, "You're kidding, right? This is a joke." And it wasn't. So I was very intrigued, and I knew right away that this is the project I was looking for. And yeah, like I said, 10 days later or so, we started filming. I didn't really want to implicate a message or a solution. I just wanted to show a situation, you know, somebody is in, and leave it up to the audience and take whatever they think they can take from a film like that. As for, you know, the meaning, I think it's about kind of homelessness that we're not so much aware of, and that becomes more and more, you know, becomes bigger around the United States, and especially New York, and it's invisible, right? Because you would never guess that this man is homeless or hasn't a place to sleep. And there are many of those in New York, I believe. Maybe they don't all live on a roof deck, but I have friends, you know, they're on the edge, and the cost of living gets higher and higher, and it gets more difficult to live in a city like this, and people get pushed out, and there are some who don't want to get pushed out, and Mark is one of them, you know, because it's kind of his home, you know, and all, you know, the hard circumstances. He's just stubborn and creative enough to stay there, and I think that's very courageous, and yeah.
And I don't consider myself homeless. I'm an urban camper. I'm highly flattered that I'm a part of something that I think is really beautiful. I think it's really a tremendous piece of work. And actually, I was just thinking of it. It's probably, for me, one of the best pictures about New York City ever. You know, it's like, you know, I could just see Woody Allen added a few laughs to it. You know, could be up there with something that he has done. So it's kind of motivated me to try to achieve more. But I'm still faced with, you know, as a lot of people are, of course, with some of the same obstacles about trying to make it in a, you know, highly unlikely profession as acting or photography. But I have been remotivated. And in terms of where I'm living now, I had a 3-month trip abroad to visit someone. So that took me out of New York in the middle of July, but right before I went, I stayed on the roof before going. And since I've been back, I think unfortunately that opportunity to stay up there has been taken away from me by new doors. And, but I bought some screwdrivers, so I might take care of those.